Holding on or letting go. The senior driver dilemma. On the other hand, getting older often brings changes that affect driving. Slower reflexes, poor hearing, or weaker eyesight can make driving more difficult and less predictable. Many older people also take daily medicines that can make them sleepy, dizzy, or slow to react. Even drivers who feel fine might miss red lights or sharp turns. Some believe ignoring warning signs, either from the body or during driving, could risk more than a fine. One reckless turn or missed signal can result in a serious accident, putting lives at risk. As people age, it can become harder to check blind spots, judge distances, or respond to sudden changes. These challenges increase the chance of mistakes, even on short, familiar trips. Driving beyond a certain age can be risky, especially when people don't realize their skills have declined. For the elderly, it might take some time to let go of something they've done for decades. But when safety matters most, stepping away from the wheel may be the wiser path.
Today's warm-up quiz is Mia won't blank, losing her job by arriving late to work again. A. Heal. B. Risk. C. Vary. D. Unite.
You have 15 seconds to think about it. Time's up.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Laura.
And we've been talking all about senior drivers and should we let them drive or not?
No, Dad.
You're still
Sorry,
a no.
I'm still a no.
I think in Taipei there really is you can definitely just take the MRT, the bus,
For sure.
or
and it's also
taxi.
Healthier because you
can
have
walk.
to walk.
Exactly.
You get to walk.
Yeah. And I think parking is a big problem in Taiwan, so it's so hard for people to find parking. I think in Taipei you don't really
have lots
need
of
to
scooters,
drive.
so you have to watch out.
I know, and sometimes
Not
everyone
just the cars,
is.
it's the scooters as well.
I know,
And people walking, pedestrians walking, when they are playing on their phones.
Yeah, even some pedestrians
worst.
don't watch the road and they're not careful. So I think it's a good way to just, avoid a lot of problems. So that's why I take public transportation.
Me too.
It's just so easy and you don't have to worry about too much. Okay, but we're going to look at the topic even further in today's article. It says here, on the other hand, getting older often brings changes that affect driving. Yes, I think that's the key point here.
OK, 我们这里在做比较了嘛，就是我们前一天课文有看到一些 On the other hand 就是另一方面呢，随着年纪增长，许多会影响驾驶的变化也会出现。爸爸，这集一定要听哦。
So what kind of changes? It says slower reflexes, poor hearing, or weaker eyesight can make driving more difficult and less predictable. Yes, totally agree. So when we talk about your reflex, it's the power of acting or responding with adequate speed, okay? So how you react to things, basically. Eyesight, of course, this means the ability to see. And when something is predictable, it means you're capable of being known and you can kind of see or you can kind of know what happens in advance, okay? But with signs of aging, it kind of brings your reflexes, eyesight, all those reactions kind of weaken, making you less predictable.
So true, Dad. Listen to this. 你不要以为你永远18岁 ，OK？ 然后 reflexes 通常是用复数形呈现的名词，就是反应能力。那 eyesight 这个名词当然就是视力呀。Predictable 这个形容词就是可预测的、可预期的。
Next in the article, it says, many older people also take daily medicines that can make them sleepy, dizzy, or slow to react.
The side effects.
Yeah, see, this is what was happening in the news,
true.
right? So scary.
而且我爸爸有心梗，搞不好他吃了一些药，就是搞不好有一些 side effects，所以许多年长者还要怎么样？每天服用一些药，对不对？所以他可能会怎么样？引起嗜睡啊。头晕啊，或是会反应迟钝的这些药物，那当然你开车上路超危险 super dangerous.
It is super dangerous. Next, the article says, even drivers who feel fine might miss red lights or sharp turns. Yeah, because of course, side effects are something, medicine is something that you can't predict. It might just hit you all of a sudden, and then it's hard for you to drive.Scary.
Yeah.
Next, it says here, some believe ignoring warning signs, either from the body or during driving, could risk more than a fine. Okay, so let's first take a look at the word warning. It's an adjective and it just means telling or showing somebody that something bad or unpleasant may happen in the future so that they can try to avoid it. So, for example, in Taiwan, the good thing is whenever there is an emergency like an earthquake or military drills or tsunami, the government usually sends a warning message to our cell phones to let us know of the upcoming events. We can also use warning in a sentence like this. The pack of cigarettes all have warning labels on them. Smoking can cause serious health problems.
But still,
I know many people do that.
他们看到还是会 smoke.
I know, and they
很奇怪
smoke on the street, and then you get the secondhand smoke.
I don't want
hate it.
我不要二手烟
So stinky.
Yeah, warning 这个形容词就是警告的。For example, this is a cute example sentence. My cat gave me a warning look before stealing my sandwich.
Oh my goodness. So cute. I can kind of imagine that look. So cute.
Super cute.
We also saw the word risk. Risk here is a verb, and it means to put something in a situation in which it could be lost, destroyed, or harmed. So back to my cigarettes example, we all know that smoking is bad. However, if someone chooses to smoke even though they know it's bad for the body, then they're risking their health, okay? Here we can use it in a sentence like this. Jack risks his own life in order to save Rose. I'm the king of the world. I'll never let you go.
我真的爱那时候的 Leo
I know, he was so handsome, so
I
cute.
know. 好啦，回到课文 risk 这个动词哦，本课是当做动词来用哦，是冒着什么什么的风险。大家现在有没有突然叮咚叮咚 ？That's right， 这就是我们今天的 Warm Quiz 有出现的单字哦。Mia won't blink losing her job by arriving late to work again. 你们有答对，你们如果答 A， 是 heal 康复痊愈 ，B 才是 risk 才是正解，是冒着什么的风险。所以他不想要失去他的工作，他不想要冒险这件事情。C 是 very 有所不同，也是错的。D unite 使团结使联合也是错的。答案只有真相没有了，答案只有一个，就是 B。那另外呢，我再举一个 risk 的生活例句好了。For example, he didn't want to risk losing his wallet by leaving it on the bus.
Next in the article, it says, one reckless turn or missed signal can result in a serious accident, putting lives at risk. Okay, so when something is reckless or like a reckless turn, this just means to show the lack of care about danger and the possible results of your action. So yeah, a reckless driving behavior is like, for example, changing lanes without signaling the car behind you. And so here I'm going to also talk about signal as well. Signal is a noun and it is a piece of equipment that uses different color lights to tell drivers to go slower, stop, which direction, for example, and it's especially used on railways and roads. Okay, for example, we can say, a green signal appeared and the long line of waiting cars began to move forward.
Okay, reckless 是什么呢？就是鲁莽的、轻率的，这是个形容词哦。而 signal 这个名词就是交通号志。For example, always stop at a red signal to avoid accidents.
Yeah, don't just rush through because you think you can make it. It's dangerous. Okay, we also saw the phrase result in something and just means to cause something to happen.
Okay, result in something 就是导致什么什么，促成什么什么。For example, skipping breakfast may result in low energy during class. 那刚刚还看到一个片语 put something or somebody at risk, 就是置什么什么于危险中。For example, not wearing a helmet puts cyclists at risk of serious injury. Serious injury. 真的要戴你的安全帽啦。
Next it says here, as people age, it can become harder to check blind spots, judge distances, or respond to sudden changes. These challenges increase the chance of mistakes even on short, familiar trips. Okay, so here we see the word challenge. It's a noun and it means a new or difficult task that tests someone's skill. Okay, so for example, if you're in the 7th grade, but you read a high schooler's book, then that's a challenge. It means you want to read harder books with maybe more difficult vocabulary and themes. Good for you. We can use challenge in a sentence like this. Maria wants to give herself a challenge this year. So she signed up to run in a marathon.
Challenge 是什么呢？就是挑战或是考验，在本课上做名词来用哦。Learning a new language is a challenge, but it's rewarding. Good job. 좋아요.
Wow. I love it. Sounds so good. Next, we also saw the word familiar. It's an adjective and it means something that is well known to you. Like you kind of already know it or have some experience with it, so it's easy to recognize. For example, we can say, although I couldn't see the woman's face, her voice sounded very familiar. She turned around and it was my grandmother.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, what are you doing here?
Yeah, familiar 这个形容词就是熟悉的。For example, the streets were familiar since I grew up in this neighborhood. 好，课文整句是说，即便是短程啊，或者是这个熟悉的路线，也可能因为这些挑战而增加犯错的几率。
Yeah, something could happen. Next in the article, it says, driving beyond a certain age can be risky, especially when people don't realize their skills have declined. Yeah, when something declines, it just means to become gradually worse in quality. So, yeah, so true. I think a lot of older people believe, like, I'm fine.
I still look great.
I'm still so young.
That's
and they
my
don't
dad.
realize.
That's super
my dad as well. My grandma too.
不认老.
Yeah, exactly.
So sad. Okay. Risky 这个形容词就是有风险的。For example, wearing white to a spaghetti dinner is a risky move.But I always do that. 我都会穿白色的，我很爱白色。Anyways, 刚刚还看到 decline 这个动词就是衰退或是变糟哦。
Next it says here, for the elderly, it might take some time to let go of something they've done for decades.
OK, 这一句呢，我们先要停一下哦，因为我们看到今天的文法。Let's take a look. 今天的 Language in Focus 要看到的是 take or spend 来表示花费时间。Spend 和 take 皆可以表示花费时间，但是用法不同哦。Spend 的主词通常是人，那 take 的主词则通常为事物或是虚主词 it。我们来看一下常见的句型整理如下。首先先看到 take， 我们会用 it， 然后再接上 take， 然后再接上 somebody 或是 somebody 的部分可以省略，再接时间，然后接不定词。像是课文就是这样子用的。For the elderly, it might take some time to let go of something they've done for decades. 这里是说对于 the elderly 就是年长者来说，要他们放下已经做了好几十年的事情，可能需要一些时间哦。那再造另外一个例句，同样的这个句型 It takes about 15 minutes to cook breakfast in the morning. 再来 take 还可以用什么样的句型？我们可以用 something 再接 take， 然后再接 somebody， 或是我们可以省略 somebody， 再接时间，然后再接不定词。不定词其实也可以被省略哦。For example, the project took the students 3 days to complete. 再来我们看一下 spend 要怎么用呢？我们可以用这个句型 somebody spend 然后再接时间再加 VING 花费时间做某事。Okay, for example, Lisa spent the afternoon reading her favorite book. 又或者你可以用 somebody plus spend plus 时间再加 on something 花费时间在某事物上就可以用到这个句型。For example, Diana spends a lot of time on social media every day.
Okay, so back to our article. We also saw the phrase in the previous sentence, let go of something, and it just means to stop holding on to someone or something. Like Elsa, let it go.
Let it go, let it go. 硬要唱哦。Let go of something 就是放下，好不好？ It's hard to let go of old grudges, but it helps your mental health. 要放下过去的仇恨。
Be like Elsa, okay? So yeah, what's hard for the elderly to let go of? It's something that they've held on for decades. Decade here is a noun and it means 10 years or over a time of 10 years. So quick question, what is it called if it's 10 decades? Okay, we call that a century because 10 decades equals 100 years. How can we use decade in a sentence? We can use it like this. The room hasn't been cleaned in at least a decade, so it was very dusty and smelly.
Gross. Okay. Decade 是什么呢？10年之后，大家应该不知道这首歌，这是陈奕迅的歌 ，OK， 有点老，对不对 ？Decade 这个是一个名词，就是10年或是10年时间。For example, Jeffrey hasn't visited his hometown in over a decade.
That's a long time. Yeah. Next, the article then says, but when safety matters most, stepping away from the wheel may be the wiser path. I agree. When you step away from something, it just means you distance away from something or you stop being involved in that thing anymore.
没错 ，step away from something 就是不再参与或是从事某个事物。For example, Mandy decided to step away from her job to focus on her studies. 所以整句最后课文是说到，但如果安全摆在首位，停止驾驶或许才是明智之举。Daddy, so true. 可不可以听话？
I know. But yeah, I think if you're still healthy and you're able to, of course, drive and do things normally as you could, then yeah, it's okay to drive. But I think when you get to a certain age, obviously when you're past, I think 75 or 80, maybe you got to stop driving. You really got to step down or step away from
80.
it. Oh my gosh. That's kind of amazing that he can still drive at the age, but
right. And he passed the test.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So that's why he's like, oh,
see, I'm still so young. Look at me.
我还是一条龙 right?
That's great for
几杯
him.
瓦凉
Yeah, he's healthy, but then I think sometimes just let go of the car keys.
Let it go.
Yeah, Taipei is so convenient.
Okay. 直接叫 Uber 啦，爸爸
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so now it's time for our For You chat. The question is, what challenges might seniors face when giving up driving after many years, and how can they get used to it?
I think seniors may feel a loss of independence. This is what I was talking about. My dad kept telling me this. When they stop driving because they can go out whenever they want, right? It can also be hard for them to rely on family or public transportation after being behind the wheel for decades. I think to get used to it, maybe they can plan rides with friends or join community activities that offer transportation. So staying socially active can also help them feel less limited.
Yeah, I think for them, they're just so used to this routine that, the older you get, the more stubborn you are. So it's hard for them to kind of let go of that. But yeah, I think that's definitely one of the challenges they might feel is like, you're stopping me from my routine and they don't know what else to do. So yeah, I think we're in Taipei, we're really lucky because at least we have public transportation. We have buses, we have the MRT. A lot of places are very senior or like elderly people friendly. So yeah, I think it's just getting them to maybe get used to these new habits. And maybe they'll learn that, oh, this is even more like easier than driving, right?
And also like more walking. That's healthier.
Yeah. Driving can be stressful. You got to find parking. You got to pay for
money,
gas and stuff
you
like
might
that.
get fined.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay. Wow, okay. 听完今天的节目还学得不够尽兴吗？欢迎到空中家教和老师练习喽 Woohoo!
That's the end of our article. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Vocabulary Review.
Warning. A loud warning alarm rang in the building when smoke started coming from the kitchen. Risk. Most employees couldn't risk losing their jobs by speaking out against unfair policies, so they just stayed quiet. Signal. The traffic signal turned red, so Noah stopped his car and waited for it to turn green. Challenge. The challenge I'm facing right now is that I need to get all this work done by Friday. Familiar. Jacob enjoys watching familiar movies that he has seen many times before. Decade. Our company has grown so much in the last decade. I hope it grows as much in the next 10 years.
智慧小补帖
Reflexes. Eyesight. Predictable. Reckless. Decline.
掌握最新时事主题，立即下载空中美语 App， 免费收听当期完整杂志。